Hi, guys. Thank you all so much for being here. As Sohan said, in whatever time zone you might be calling from, I'm Ariana. I'm one of the co founders of Icicle, which is a social platform for international students. If you haven't checked it out, you totally should. Today, we are so lucky to get to host an event with Sohan and hear his, how did you put it? Your learnings, your mistakes, your everything from your journey as an international student with a focus on getting a job in business analytics, but also just honestly everything in the journey that's interesting. So I'm going to stop talking so that you guys can hear him start talking. And so, yeah, Sohan, thank you again so much. And I'm just excited to learn from you.
Thank you so much. Thank you to you, Ariana. Thank you to Victor. And thank you to this awesome platform that we have as Haskell. Okay, so to get the party started now, all right. How I like to do these things is basically separated into three formats. The first one would be an introduction, which is where we are right now, just skimming through it and coming to the fun part. Okay, but the second part would be the questions and how I can provide value, share my journey, learn from you guys what you are doing, which is the most exciting part always. And finally, end it by sharing some resources. It could either be referrals or how to get in touch with me and maybe resumes and all that part. So yeah, that's how I'll divide it. So just to end my introduction and just to go over to you guys, I'm sure like many of you have spoken with me on LinkedIn, and also while joining the call, you guys might have seen some android or random things about me. But just to say it from my end, so I'll just start from the very beginning. I started my journey at almost 18 years of age. I was very fortunate of having the experience of co-founding two startups by the age of 20. The first one was a marketing and branding startup. The second one was an e-commerce startup, just like Amazon, but on a much more smaller scale. And so that was my startup experience. And at the very same time, I was pursuing my bachelor's in computer engineering from Mumbai, India. I come from India, and it was always a dream to come to the United States. Just after graduating, I worked for almost 1.5 odd years as a business analyst in an IT consulting firm back in Mumbai. And post that, I was again very lucky to fulfill my childhood dream of coming to the United States. I here pursue my master's in business analytics at UIC. What do I even talk about that experience? It has been a roller coaster 1.5 years, and it has been some very happy highs and some very huge lows as well. And that's where I aim to provide value in today's session with all of you guys from that journey, from that experience. And post graduation, I have been working with a healthcare service corporation as a senior business analyst, and mostly working on reporting and all those fun kind of stuff. But any questions you have regarding that, or how I came over here, what I did in my master's, and all those questions, do go ahead when you get the chance. And finally, bringing it over to you guys, I'm opening the stage for the questions, closing everything, the introduction part, going to the fun part, the questions. Whoever wants to go first, more than welcome. Let's get the party started. All right. So the first question which I am seeing, and correct me if I'm wrong over here, is from Sai Tejeswar, and he's saying, "How long did it take for you to land your first job?" Okay. So to answer your question, Sai, it was a journey of almost, I would say, 10 months. Just to start from the very beginning, I graduated first and foremost in May 2023, and I started my journey from August 2022, and the first 4 months till August, from August till December, it was basically trial and error. And what I mean by that is I was just seeing my peers who were graduating a semester before me and just understanding what they are doing, how they are applying, how do I tailor my resume, how do I build my cover letter. So those 4 months were basically that. I did apply to a number of positions in that period, but nothing really, I did not got any in callbacks or any traction, as we can call it. However, my main journey as a caller started from 14 December 2022. That's when I went all in. I was like, okay, I'm graduating in 5 months now. I have to get a job and everything. So I just started putting a lot of applications. By this time, I had my resume and my cover letter already ready. So after that, it was just putting applications. As we know, we don't get a lot of callbacks in December because the offices are closed. However, I started getting a few callbacks in January, and that was basically from small startups. However, it was going good. And post that, like in February, I again was getting a few callbacks, but it was just like, okay, you're graduating in 4 months. Why should we hire you so early? So maybe not turning in my favor. Cut to March, April of 2023, did not get any callbacks. I personally would like to admit that I derailed from my application process. I was demotivated and wasn't able to pick a lot of applications. So that did not go well as well those 2 months. Cut to May 2023, 5th of May 23, and that's when I graduated. After that point of time, I was like, I have to get a job. I have to do something. I have student loans, so many other things to look out, pay rent, and that's when I went all in. Post that, I was like all over the place. Like I was maybe say putting in 200 applications a week, or I sometimes 100 applications a day. So that was the number I was putting in. And what happened in this period of time was I was able to give a few interviews, so I was prepared as to what they would be asking me in the interview process. So that really helped me. And post May 2023, cut to July of 23, I got a bunch of offers, not a bunch, basically 3 offers, and that's how it was for me. So just it was an elaborated answer, but just to answer your question, yeah, it took me 10 months and so many ups and downs in the process.
Hi, Sohan. So nice to meet you. And I have been following you on LinkedIn for a while, and it has been very nice to learn from you because I am in the second semester of my
Mhm.
business analytics program. And, even the internship hunt so far has been pretty uh, very demotivating because you don't hear back and you're sending out so many applications. I will just make my question quick. One thing is that in the MS program, some of our courses are completely online. Like we don't get to interact with the teacher, and if we do, there are like hundreds of students, and you cannot stand out. It's just one class that we have in person. Now that teacher happens to be the person who has most connections. So how would I network with that teacher? And also, I have never been like networker. That's something after coming to the US. I'm from Pakistan, so I realized that networking is the key in the US. So what would be some of your tips for a person who's introvert to network, and how to reach out to such teachers who are connected? You can't just go up to them and say, refer me, when they know nothing about you and you're one of the hundreds of students. That's my question. Thank you so much.
No worries. First and foremost, thank you so much. That is a great question to begin with. I personally feel that your professors can help you a ton, even if you're not taking their classes. I don't know, like if this would work for everyone, but that's what worked for me, and I can share that. So it doesn't really matter if you're taking the professor's class or not. That would be my first and foremost suggestion. And the reason I say that is when I came to UIC, I just wanted a research assistantship. That's all I wanted. And so how I navigated it was basically I came to the United States. It wasn't a week. I was just I went to the faculty directory, and I was just sending random emails to all the professors who were in that directory. And it could be a form of networking. There could be others as well, but that's what I followed. And I was just sending an introduction, and okay, these are my skills, and this is your research, and how I can contribute to that. So maybe that was a form of networking that worked for me. And what followed was basically I sent out 500 random emails to all the professors in my departments and the other ones who were close to that as well. So that was one thing which I did. And what I got was, maybe if the professor wasn't able to offer me a research assistantship, I can honestly say that I got a response from actually 70% of them. It was either, okay, I'm sorry, I don't have an assistantship or an opportunity, but I would be happy to help you in other ways possible, or guide you to someone who can help you with that. So that opened my doors with the faculty and with my professors. So that could be one thing which you can do, which is just cold emails and all those things. Secondly, would be I have known professors, which I completely understand the point that you're getting to. And yes, some professors really do have some good connections in the network. They have worked for so many years and all of those things. Unfortunately, I don't think online class would give you the visibility to get out there or show your projects or communicate so well. However, just reaching out after maybe the class, as soon as the person is getting out, maybe just dropping by and sharing something about yourself, maybe giving your resume, okay, this is what I would want to share, and maybe if you have something, if you can help me with that. I've seen students do this and get maybe on campus jobs and something in that fashion, or maybe someone who hasn't got a job after graduating and then get some opportunities. So those are some things that you can do, but just dropping by and getting out there would be the biggest thing that I can share. So that's what worked for me and some people I know as well. I hope that answers your question, Shimala.
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hey Sohan, can I go next?
Oh, of course, Sai. It's a pleasure to having you.
Hi, nice meeting you again.
Nice.
And I know I've asked you millions of questions before, but I never go out of questions. It's been quite hard to land an internship right now. Not a lot of things are working out, which probably worked before. But I think it's important to see what we can do next. So, in that sense, I was wondering how, I was trying to see if I can work under professors for research opportunities, and if possible do some personal projects that are driven by professors, or maybe even upskill in through certifications, that can improve your experience and your skill set. And I think that's more important than just applying for internships and just hoping that something would happen there. What do you think about that approach? Because I want to know if that'll probably help us in the future while looking for a full time.
Well, that definitely is something which is quite common, Sai. And I remember that we have spoken about the same in the past. So yes, I would say that would work. Putting in a number of applications and just doing something which is out of the box, just like Shumala said, maybe networking and maybe just doing something which your peers are not doing. I would definitely suggest that approach. What you suggested would definitely work. But just to speak about how I would have approached that, because the number of internships, let's just talk about that. They are so less as compared to full-time opportunities, and the competition is so high, so that it's already not giving you the chances. And there are so many qualified people out there just competing for very less opportunities. So maybe being active on LinkedIn or maybe networking in some other way, maybe those things can really work out for you. So it's just up to us how we can stand out in apart from the crowd. But I would definitely suggest that approach.
Thank you for answering my question.
Most welcome, sir.
Hey, hi Sohan. At first, like your LinkedIn profile is really impressive. The posts you share, they are very relevant to me. So as you mentioned earlier that you used to apply to hundreds of jobs per day.
Yes.
So I am hearing from a lot of seniors about this quality applications over quantity. So
Right.
I want to understand your take on this, as well as what was your strategy? Because right now, I personally feel that rather than applying to thousands of jobs, like hundreds of jobs,
Mhm.
because a particular job has thousands of applications, right?
Right.
So I personally feel that reaching out or maybe having someone internal connect can work out in this market. So I just wanted to know your take on this.
Of course, and I personally love talking about this because that was when I was in your place, Vaishnav. Very honestly, that was my biggest question, right? How do I land an opportunity? And just going back to Sai's point, like what will work, what will not. So that was my biggest dilemma. Should I apply for referrals or should I maybe do something else, be active on LinkedIn? And I don't know what. Just to answer what worked for me from my perspective, it really depends upon your profile, Vaishnav. It really depends upon, first and foremost, the number of years of experience, the organization that you have worked in the past, the industry that you're applying to, and all of those things. I can just speak about me. I did not have experience working in a very specific industry. So I was just working in IT consulting, which is like you're all over the place. You're working different projects. I did not have the 5 years of experience, as you can call it, for getting into a job. The requirements are so high nowadays, and my skills personally were not that great when I started. However, I was like, okay, I what I can do is, if not stand out in that place, maybe put myself out there as much as possible, and that is what worked for me personally. And I also have, having said that, I spent a lot of time applying for referrals and just waiting to hear back from the referrals. However, until that person was giving me the referral, it was sometimes 2 weeks, and the job was anyways like they might have already hired the candidate. So I wasted a lot of opportunities over there as well. So it is just a personal opinion, version of maybe someone who has much better experience than me, much highly skill oriented in a better industry. They would definitely go for a targeted job search. But someone who was in my place, I tried a targeted job search, and that did not work for me. So the only option which was left was just put yourself out there as much as possible, do whatever you need to do, put up the number of applications, and the numbers game just worked out for me personally in the end. So yeah, that's how I would approach
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sohan. That answers my question. And I'm really happy for whatever you're doing. And it's really great seeing you on LinkedIn every day, posting your experiences. And I hope to see new amazing posts from you. Good luck.
Thank you
Thank
so
you. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, brother. Thank you so much.
Okay, hi Sohan, how are you? How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm super happy, super excited to be seeing so many people turn up for the call.
Yeah,
How are you doing? First and foremost, where are you from, Virashi? Are you a student? Are you like gonna be one, or are you graduate? Have you graduated?
okay. Yes. So actually, I have yet to start my master's. I'm going to start it in this fall 24. I'm still in that phase on choosing which university should I go into, which course
Mm.
should I take. I'm still at a very early phase.
Okay,
So my question is basically related to that.
right,
I just wanted to ask, considering the current job situation, when I talk to many of the alumni or some experienced people, everyone is like stick to CS because you will have more opportunities as compared to any other, like any other field, which is a niche field like data analytics, say business analytics, or any other field, right?
right.
So what will be your take in this? Should we stick to CS considering the job opportunities? Like, do you feel that the niche courses like business analytics or data analytics have less job opportunities?
Okay, I can definitely answer that. But before I do so, I just have two questions for you, Vedashi. First one would
Yeah.
be, what is your background? Is a CS, electronics, IT? And second, the most important one would be, what do you enjoy doing? What do you like, coding, something else, being out there, speaking with people? If you can just answer those two things.
So actually, I completed my computer engineering in 22, and since then I'm working in a fintech company,
Okay.
and there I'm working as a project manager. So
Okay.
I'm just talking to everyone, including client and of course my internal team. So yes, of course, I'm more inclined to BA course,
Right.
and for some universities that course is really good. The subjects that are I really like those. But
Right.
yes, again, it comes that we are going to take hefty loans from here and then going there and opportunities matters for job.
Right.
Last thing we want is job. So yeah, so that's my question regarding, is it true that for BA and other fields the opportunities are quite less as compared to CS?
Well, I personally wouldn't. I can't answer something which I don't really know. So for CS, I'm not really aware of how good the market is and how are they
Mm,
performing. I have some peers from CS. They have been placed into good companies. They graduated with me. However, just speaking about BA, the market currently is
yeah.
quite great. Like it is improving. I would say it's not great and everything, but it is improving, and there are
Mhm.
opportunities for sure. And if we are
Okay.
just talking about BA, there are like business analysts as usual. You can offer a data analyst, you can offer a business intelligence analyst, you can offer a product analyst, I guess, as well, and definitely the data scientist and all those things. So the market is great, a lot of good opportunities. However, I don't know if I would be employed 10 years down the line with AI coming into the picture. So there's no good yes or no answer. at so many years down the line. However, right now I do see it is an in-demand skill, and really people want to hire BAs. There's so many things coming in with data. So yes, right now you can definitely like repay the loan and get a good job and all of those things. However, having said that, I would again go back to choose something which you really enjoy. If you're a product
Mm.
manager, that
Yeah.
is what you would want to carry 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the line. And so that
True.
I would just say stick to your skills. If you like communicating, do join BA or product management like jobs. However, if not, yes, like because the future is going to be so unpredictable, and whatever we are good at will definitely help us stand out. So I hope that answers your
Yeah.
question.
Thanks, Sohan. It was
Thank,
great talking to you.
thank
Thanks.
you for joining. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Sohan. Hi, Ariana. Hello, everybody.
Hey, Krishna. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. Thank you. So, I'll just give you a quick intro for me. So, I'm from Pune, basically,
Okay.
and I did my computer engineering from there. And since then, I was working into an IT firm,
Mhm.
and I decided to come out of the comfort zone. I came to study in Canada. I did my first course into project management,
All right.
and the second one is going as into business analytics. Planning to go forward with that, but as many people had the same question, like what should be the correct path when it comes to taking learning the tools. But I so believe like before learning the tools, you should know the requirements going forward. So that is what I want to understand. Like the pathway and the tools is a different picture, but what was the requirements that you gathered to do all of these things?
Absolutely. So I can just speak in much detail about my current job, and however, what I was preparing for when I was applying. So if you're just particularly speaking about BA Krishna over here, that would be, or actually, I would just diversify a little bit and talk about data analysts and data scientists as well. So the first and the most important thing, which I had the biggest challenge was learning SQL. That is the most important thing which you would find common across different roles. So if even if you're a BA, data analyst, data scientist, and so many others, SQL would be the most important tech stack that you would want to have. Second would be Python. It is maybe a trade-off between SQL and Python. However, some people who want to not just extract data, but at the very same time build functions or programs, or maybe do predictive modeling, they would prefer Python as well. So that would be the second one. Then the third one definitely would be a visualization tool. It could either be Tableau or Power BI. Personally, right now in my current job, I am extensively working on Power BI and using it for reporting. So it is very prevalent out there. So that would be the third tech stack that you would want to cover. And apart from it, basically depends upon roles. Like in a finance firm, you would want to learn SAP. In some other healthcare firm, maybe they would prefer SaaS. So all of those things combined, like these 5 to 6 tools are the most important ones. Some even prefer programming in R as compared to Python. It's a huge market out there, depending upon the tools that you would want to counter. However, if I just want you to prepare for your next job as a business analyst, just note down three. That would be SQL, that would be Python, and that would be either Tableau or Power BI. So I hope that answers your question, Krishna.
Yeah, definitely it does. So,
Thank you. Sohan, do you think we can pivot a little bit to a sponsorship question, and then we'll take the rest of the raised hands?
Oh, of course. Yeah. No.
So Kelly has asked, and plus one by a lot of people, how do you kind of break through the do you need sponsorship now or in the future question when you're doing the online applications? And if you have just any advice on struggles with like the visa aspect of being an international student.
Absolutely. So the biggest struggle I I would say of being an international student would be maintaining a visa. And yes, I have had some crazy stories regarding my approach to this, and I definitely would like to share about that. Kelly, just to answer your question, depending upon what kind of a position you are in right now, if I would say if I was applying for an internship, I would definitely answer no. No, I do not require a sponsorship, because at that point of time you would be having the opportunity to convince your employer through your work, okay, like maybe sponsor me for a full time if the internship is converting. But if already the internship opportunities are so less, and if we are even like restricting those with sponsorship questions, it's very hard to get by. So that would be my suggestion first and foremost if you're applying for internships. However, when coming to full time, sadly there is no like way around this. We just have to say yes. I'll actually share a story of why I'm saying that. This is about my current job where I'm working. I applied through Indeed. I said yes to sponsorship and went through the interviews, got the offer, and all of those things. Cut to, I received the offer letter. Okay, a day after receiving the offer letter, somewhere at like 1 p.m. in the afternoon, I get an reply from the HR. Hey Sohan, would you be requiring H1B sponsorship? And I got very happy. Wow, they are already so active on this, and they want to put my sponsorship and all of those things. So I was like, hey, yes, like I want my sponsorship, and whatever you need from me, please let me know. Sadly, one hour after that email was sent from me, I received a call from the HR saying, "Hey Sohan, I'm really sorry, but right now we are not open to sponsoring." I was like, oh, "Okay, no worries. Like maybe I'll work for you guys and do something else." But her response was, "Sorry, but we'll have to retract your offer. We won't be offering the position." So that is the extent to where it went. But I was lucky enough to convince my manager and that please let me in, and even if you don't sponsor, I would switch laterally and do all of those things. But they eventually ended up sponsoring me based upon my work. So that would be my response to this, Kelly, that because we are international students and most of us are STEM students, I would assume. But having said that, if there are a lot of issues when you are giving the interviews, and after giving the interview at the very end, if your employer knows that you have require an H1B, they would straight away say no, as they did in my case as well. So I hope that answers your question.
Hi, Sohan. I have a question.
Of course.
I'm currently at the airport. I can't talk much, but I just have this simple question like how did you end up getting your current job? Is it through networking or did you just applied it via cold applying?
Yes. So I'll actually definitely share how I got it and share my interview process as well if it can help others on the call. To answer your question, Sudeshna, I just got it by cold application. I remember I put out an application somewhere in the time span of May last year. I applied through Indeed. It was a cold application. It went out and I got a call back within a day or two. The first round that followed after that was basically an HR round. Okay, where do you live and what is the background and what are your expectations for the salary? All of those things went pretty basic. Second round was with my hiring manager or my current manager who I'm working under. It was basically okay. So what are your skills and what is your background? Why do you want to work for us? And how I can accomplish the team's goal is what was his point of view in that interview. It was just a behavioral question round, and nothing apart from it. Went pretty basic as well. That was the second round. Cut to the third round was with the director, which is basically of the company, basically my manager's manager. And what she wanted to know was how do my values align with the values of the company? How does my vision aligns with the vision of the company? What do I want to do 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line? And there were some complex behavioral questions based upon that. So that was the third round. Cut to fourth round. It was a highly technical interview. Currently, I'm working on Power BI, but I'm using other tools as well, which is Power Automate, Power Apps, SharePoint development, all of those things. So it was highly technical round. They wanted to see my projects, my experience. There were very drilled down questions on why would you choose this graph? What have you worked on? And what kind of reports, dashboards are you comfortable working with? So that was that round. I thought I might not clear that round. Luckily, I did. And finally, the last round was the panel interview, which is basically my entire team was there. And we have some 12 people on the team. And it is a very woman-dominated team. And I share the story most of the time. That's why I'm smiling. But so one of the questions which was asked to me was, so, hey, Sohan, most of the team comprises of female members. And having said that, how would you cater to your male ego, and how will that not come into the picture, and how will you contribute towards the team dynamic? So that was the exact question which I was asked, and how does someone answer that was my first thought in my mind. And I did not read this online, I did not come across this question. However, just in the flow of the interview, my response to that question was, so, hey, Jessica, thank you for asking that question. And what I would want to say is basically not about ego issue, but something a matter of respect, which is the reason I'm saying is because I have been brought up in a highly women-dominated household, whether it be my mother, my sisters, my extended family, and I've just seen them do everything. Do whatever they have been doing, it was always a notch better than the men in the household. So I come from that kind of a perspective. And coming back to answer the question, I will obviously, there is no disrespect to me or Max over here, but I already Max was my manager, but I already feel that women are much better than us men in everything that they do. And that was my response. And there were so many other questions, but thankfully they liked it. Yes, that I feel they would have laughed at the question, at the answer as well, Kelly. But yeah, that was how that went. So that was a panel round. So that those were my 5 rounds of interview, and then the very next day I got the job offer. But yeah, coming back to your question, Sudeshna, how it went: 5 rounds of interview, cold application, and that was it.
Okay, thank you. I do have a follow-up question with that. Like, do you tailor your resume for every job you apply, or is just that one you keep applying with the same resume?
So yes, that's again a good question. What I would recommend is to tailor your resume for most of the opportunities that you are applying to. And if you are applying to a target job or your dream job, your dream company or a dream role, definitely tailor your resume. That's what I did initially. And that's what you do for 3 or 4 months. And after tailoring your resume for so many opportunities, what eventually happens is like you have a very good resume that has most of the skills that are required up to the point, and which would definitely come into the hiring manager's hands. That's how I started, and over time I did not have to do a lot of tailoring. But yes, initially for at least 3 or 4 months I was tailoring my resume each time, and that really worked for me, and that saved me a lot of time by the end of my job search, because it was already a good resume by the end of it.
Yeah, that answers everything, Sohan. Thank you.
Most welcome.
Hi, Sohan.
Hi, Anisha.
Hi. So my question is like, do we need to like how much like cover letter is important for the application, and do we need to like tailor cover letter for every of the application?
So to answer the first part of your question, Anisha, cover letters are very important in my opinion. And the reason I say that is because I was speaking with a friend, I just casually networked with her, and she actually said that when she was after getting selected, when she was speaking with the manager, and she asked the manager, okay, why did you hire me? Her manager replied that because you had a very good cover letter is why I hired you. And more importantly, and very surprisingly to me, that there were some 120 applications and only 3 of them had a cover letter. And all 3 of those were selected for the interview because it set them apart during the application process. So that was the first thing which I would answer, would be that a cover letter definitely sets you apart. It is highly important, and you should be developing the practice of applying through cover letters. The second part to your question, I would say it is a lot of work. I completely understand that. And maybe for your target roles or dream jobs, like say if you want to always want to work for Google, and you see a job which really aligns with your experience, maybe tailor a cover letter for that kind of a role. But I completely understand it's not possible to do that hundreds of times. So I would definitely not suggest that. It is a lot of time and lot of effort. So maybe for your target roles, you can tailor your cover letter, but it's not required every time. I did not have a tailored cover letter all the time. Maybe a tailored resume, but I was applying to the same cover letter, just changing a few things here and there. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. It is very important, but yeah, it's not important to tailor it every time.
I graduated in December 2023,
Hmm.
and I'm currently working as a business analyst intern for over a year now. I'm also parallelly applying to internships, jobs that would offer me opportunities for growth and learning.
Okay.
I've been tailoring my resumes, cover letters, and whatnot. But straight up rejections in less than 24 hours. Or someone would reach out to me, but they would only want people on H1B or green card.
Right.
I'm 2 months in my initial OPT, and to be honest, it's really frightening.
Right.
What do you think I should be doing differently?
Well, so if I got everything correctly, are you currently working, Kezia, or did you say?
Yeah.
All right.
I
Uh,
got the internship in January 2023 and graduated in December 2023. Yeah.
okay, all right. So that has stopped your clock for right now, if I'm
Yeah.
okay, awesome.
Mhm.
So at least I could completely understand it is a very like frightening situation to be in. I've almost been there. Even when I started working, I
Mhm.
had spent like a month and a half of my OPT days. So I completely empathize with that. Something which would set you apart, Kezia, would be definitely like what we have spoken with some other members would be to
Mhm.
do something which not everyone is doing. Maybe getting out there on LinkedIn. If it is such a dire situation, I completely understand. Maybe asking for referrals, depending upon how promptly the person would be responding to you. But yeah, like just being out there as much as possible.
Mhm.
I personally was in that situation, and I was just putting so many applications a day. I lost count at a point, but
Yeah.
just doing whatever you can, and I empathize with that because yeah, like
Yeah.
I've
Nobody would even text me back for like a week.
right.
So
I
it's really frightening.
I understand, and when I was in that situation, I was just like I don't know what I have to do. Like I will do anything for that matter, no matter the number of applications, and
Mhm.
I don't know, getting out there, speaking with people and whatever. But unfortunately, there's no one right answer to this. But
Yeah.
just being out there would be my solution to this. Like putting your number of applications to your LinkedIn post. I
Mhm.
just recently saw someone who got a job by sharing his journey of like how many days were left for that person's OPT, and eventually they got a job by someone reaching out to them and offering a position on by reading their posts. So that
Yeah.
definitely works for a lot of people as well. So those are the things which I would recommend. I empathize.
Yeah.
Please, if there is anything I can help with my current organization, do this.
Definitely. I would reach out to you. Thank you so much for doing this today. I have learned so much from you and your posts on LinkedIn and your experience as an international student. It has been so great. Thank you for answering my question, and it was great talking with you. Thank you so much.
That means a lot. Thank you so much, Krishna.
Yeah, no worries. Hi, Sohan.
Hi, Pranjal.
So I'm from Greater Boston area. So I'm from Booster. And
Mhm.
fun fact, it is cold here and it snowed 2 days ago.
My God.
Yeah.
What do you even say about that? Being a Chicagoan, I can so very much empathize with that. But yeah, luckily we don't have any snow over here. But I feel you. I understand.
Yeah, I hope that was the last snow of the winter.
I hope so too.
Okay, so right now I'm graduating in May 2024 with Masters in Data Analytics, and I'm also working as a business intelligence analyst intern at Bentley University. Coming from educational domain background, I'm also applying to business analyst roles in certain different domains. So I wanted to know, like, if we are applying to different domain, how important it is for the hiring team to select candidates who do not have prior experience in their domain. So, for example, if I'm applying to healthcare domain, being having experience in education domain and other service-based company, that make me stand out from other applicants having analytical skills. And then second question would be, what platforms do you suggest to work on cloud-based analytics projects?
So first and foremost, to just answer the first part of that question, well, I personally wasn't just like I said, I did not wasn't aligned to a very specific industry. So even I like entering healthcare, it was just based upon my skills
Mhm.
and more importantly, the projects which I was working upon. On my resume, I had I was very clear. I want to get into finance, I want to get into consulting, and I want to get into healthcare. So that's how I tailored my projects. And I had an interesting project on healthcare during my master's. So that really helped me. And during my interview phases, they definitely drill down, okay, what knowledge do you have and what did you do in that project? So that definitely set me apart a little bit. To be very fair, to answer you, if someone who one of the candidates who you are competing with has tons of healthcare or financial experience, so depending upon that industry, if I was a hiring manager, I would definitely opt for them without being biased over here. However, it really worked out for me because I just had the skills and the projects experience that they were looking for, and eventually they ended up hiring me. So you can definitely get into any industry you want, depending upon how you tailor your resume and the skills that you have. So don't worry about like you don't have any experience in a field, you can definitely get into it. Depending upon the second question, I tons of things which I have seen is basically people are targeting right now. I see certifications in Azure and in AWS. So those are the things that I would like to target. I definitely don't have a lot of experience in that field, so I wouldn't want to give you a misguided answer. But that's just what I've been seeing around me, and people. It is like every other day I'm just seeing one of these two certifications, so you can target for that. But just to answer the first part, you can get into any industry you want, Pranjal. It's just about the skills and the work in the project experience that you need to tailor to them.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome, Pranjal.
Hi, Sohan. Nice to see
Yes,
you.
Shashank. Nice to meet you as well.
Yeah, I just have one question. Like, what are the mistakes that you have done that you would like us to avoid right now in the job search process?
Absolutely. I would say that is one of my favorite questions. And the reason I say that is I learned so much more from my mistakes as compared to the right things that I was doing. One of the biggest mistakes, Shashank, in my experience during my job search was basically waiting for referral and not applying as soon as the job was posted. And the reason I say that is because eventually, towards the end of my job search, I had put on these alerts on each company's on the target company's LinkedIn pages. And as soon as the job was posted, I was very proactive to go ahead and apply to it. And that really helped me stand apart, maybe a little bit. But in my experience, I saw a lot of callbacks from doing that as compared to initially, I was just reaching out on LinkedIn and some person agreed to give me a referral. They did not eventually, and I just wasted very good opportunities by just not applying as soon as possible. So that is my biggest takeaway, Shashank. Don't waste your time, whether if you're waiting for a referral or maybe even not a referral, but just delaying applying to the job in because of some reasons. Put up the alerts and maybe check the company's profile directly. Don't even apply on LinkedIn. Directly go to the company's profile and just apply as soon as possible. That would be my biggest takeaway and something that immensely impacted my job search process.
Sure, sure. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I think we will bring this at an end here, unless anyone objects. And really, no one is objecting. So I think we can bring this to an end here. Really, Sohan, thank you so much for just providing so much invaluable information and also creating a conversation with the people here, which is, I think, my favorite part. Like you said, like we don't know all the answers. People have different experiences, and there's not one right way to do things. But your insights are just so truthful and honest and transparent, and that's really wonderful. So just want to thank you again for your time and for everyone who came and listened and contributed. Thank you all so much for coming.
Absolutely. I would just want to end by saying that I'm no expert or like no not someone who maybe you should be looking up to, but my biggest reason for doing this call was I've been there where all of you guys are right now, and it's not the best spot to be in. So just want to say like even if you're not looking, even if something is not turning up well for you right now, just keep hanging there, and that would be my biggest takeaway. If even one person just keep going with their journey, that I would be the happiest person in the world right now. And that's what I did. Things were not going well for me, but eventually just hanging in there, everything will turn out good for you. So just take that as a takeaway, the biggest thing that you can do. And my journey would be a testament to that. Okay, things are possible, and you will land up the right opportunity sooner than later. So just all the best, guys. And yeah, finally, one note: if I can help in any other way, I hope I answered most of your questions. If I did not, reach out to me on LinkedIn. I would be more than happy to answer in individually. So all the best, guys. Keep killing it, and I'm sure you'll get the best opportunities soon. Thank you so much for joining. It means a lot to me.
Thank you guys. And make sure you join Icicle if you haven't already. Sohan is there, so you should be too.
Absolutely. One last thing, I was telling this to Ariana the other day that Icicle is one of the platforms I wish I had when I was in this journey. Unfortunately, I did not. You guys have. If you get the opportunity, do join. It would be the biggest help for you. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good weekend. Take care. Bye bye.
Hi, guys.